Welcome back to the Roadside Rescue YouTube channel. I'm Ernest, and here's another episode of a day in the life of a mobile mechanic. Today's a snow day. There's snow on the front windshield there. And the roads are probably going to be pretty empty, so it's always nice to drive around when it's snowy. Always drive slow regardless, but since I took that toolbox out of the back, it's been sliding around a lot. Something else I want to do to upgrade the Ranger right now is to put a phone mount in here because I use the GPS on my phone when I'm driving, and if I put it down next to me or whatever, it just feels uncomfortable looking down at it, and I would like something that's just up in better in my range of view. So I got an ANDOBIL easy clip car mount. This was just one of the best seller ones on Amazon. So I'll put a link in the description to this one. That's the one I'm using. If that's what you want, go ahead and check that out. Here's what the little phone holder mount looks like. It looked like it was really nice on Amazon. Looks like it's really good quality. Obviously one of the best sellers. So let's go ahead and install this, and then we'll hit the road and get some jobs done today. Okay, so here's a look around the cab of the Ranger here. The dash is cracked, so I have this dash cover. Depending on how we're gonna stick this mount on though, I'm gonna have to see what I do about this dash cover. I also have like this nice little area over here where the truck doesn't have an airbag. And I have a dash cam up here. So I don't know, I feel like this is probably the best place, is probably go close to the dash. If that's what you guys would do as well, let me know in the comments down below. I think that's what I'm gonna go with first. All right, so it comes in a nice box. Tells you about its main features there, quick release button, pretty much everything you want in a little phone holder. And here's that quick release button right here. So when you press that, it'll actually open up and let go of your phone there. Here's what that looks like with my phone in it here. So then you can just pull it out pretty easy. But when you put it in there, going over bumps and stuff, it's not gonna shake out. Honestly, if I ever do like demolition derbies or something, or just like, you know, start doing events with my own projects, probably next year or whenever, having like some sort of GoPro or dash cam that will stay still whenever you're going through all that stuff. GoPros are pretty good at motion stabilization, but something like this that'll hold your phone nice and tight while you're driving, this has got to be a good option too. So this may be an option that I use in the future for setting up cameras, filming myself while I drive around and stuff as well. This is a little bit sturdier than I was expecting. All right, it comes with a little guidebook, tell you how to install it. I'm gonna see if you can install it on the dash or the window because of this carpet dash cover here. I think I'm just gonna mount it on the window if I can. Probably like right here next to that rear view mirror. Oh wow, this even comes with an extra mount than I was expecting. I was hoping that it had a suction cup mount, which that's what this looks like here. It just has that protector on this clear. I don't know what that stuff is. It's like a jelly. Works really good. I've used a couple of suction cup mounts like this, so this is the nice kind. This actually extends as well. I guess just for anybody who wants to get this, I'm gonna put the link in the description. But what I didn't realize it had was this one for the air vents. I don't want to use this one. Again, I'm still gonna go with the window, but I wasn't expecting it to even have this one. So it has this cool little clip, and you just put it in your air vent and clamp it down. Okay, so here's a little Ernest hack for you. These little vent clip mounts are super awesome when your phone starts getting old and overheating all the time, especially in the summer. This is what I used to do in my old truck. My phone would overheat, so I would just jam it into the vent in the AC. But putting a clip mount like this would be awesome if your phone overheats itself for the AC in the summer. So that's what that looks like, and then you can just hook this on there. But both of these attachments have this little ball mount, so you can choose either one. That's super cool. Oh, cool. And so whenever you mount this 3M sided dashboard mount, it's actually just a double-sided tape with a flat pad right here. So if you mount it to the dash, you'll just stick this down, and then you'll put the suction cup on this anyways. That being said, I'm not going to use this single-use pad right now because we're going on the window. So I was trying to find the best spot up here near the rear view mirror, and actually it gets in the way of the dash cam. You can see me turn it on and test it here, so I end up moving it down closer to the dash on my side of the steering wheel. I'm thinking like right here actually, where I can kind of just have the phone over this pillar. And it's not even in a blind spot. I mean, it is, but it's not like adding a new blind spot to the vehicle, so that looks good. Okay, so I have that there, and then this should just be able to go on. Boom, perfect. Okay, so there's the final placement of that mount, if you can see it. And this is totally just doesn't look out of place, and it looks real nice. This honestly is even better than I expected, so one I totally recommend. Since I'm showing it to you, check out the links in the description if you're interested in getting this one. Now let's go check out these 2 broken cars I have to look at today and get some lunch. I'm hungry. All right, here we are. Another snowy morning, and that's 2 for 3 in the last 3 days. This red car is the one that won't start, so let's see if we can get it to start. So first I specifically unlock it with the key just to make sure that it at least has some battery. All right, what do we got? Clicking. Sounds like a battery. Let's go ahead and test this battery, and then I'll jump it off and see if it'll charge, and then I'll test it again. We'll determine if they need a new one or if this one just needs to be charged. Okay, some corrosion on that battery there, but not much. It's got 11.5 volts, so it looks like it's just barely dead. Hopefully it'll take a charge. All right, so it just needs to be charged and retested right now. It looks like it notices that it's just drained, but might have plenty of amperage. Also, I'm kind of suspicious of machines telling me I always need to replace batteries, so I always test it with a lower cold cranking amps than the battery's actually rated for. This isn't a guarantee, but I'm hoping it'll take a charge. Luckily, the car can recharge the battery by itself. All I have to do is get it running. So I do offer recharging batteries as a mobile service, because look at this snow. That's why they say best snow on earth. This is like fake snow. Crazy. Snowboarding in this stuff, that's going to be fun this winter. Cool. -1 degrees. Is this gonna warm itself up? Yep, there it goes. 1 degrees. Should be ready at 5 degrees. There it goes. Let's get this started. Those cables are safe from getting cut. All right. No battery light. That's good. No alternating problem there. 14.5 volts, that's great. Let's let that run for 10-15 minutes and then retest it. That's still in there. It's like fake. Alright, let's get these tools back in there. I put a old pair of coveralls over these tools last night, but the snow still got down in there. Okay, so now I'm going to test it again, but with its normal cold cranking amps. 90 cold cranking amps, that may not even start this again. So it looks like now it's saying replace. Yep, needs to be replaced. Okay, so they want to go ahead and just pay a little bit extra for me to replace the battery. So I'm gonna go grab that. Luckily, they're like 2 blocks away from AutoZone, just up the hill, so nice. All right, I've got a new battery. When I was getting the battery, it said it was a half-hour labor time. which was a warning symbol and not just like a common advisement. So I think this battery probably takes a little bit longer than usual to install. It looks like it was underneath something, so it wouldn't surprise me. But again, I'm charging just a little bit extra for my time to install, so no big deal. But good thing they didn't take the bet that the auto parts store would install it for free, because it looks like probably they wouldn't. What are we on there? Yeah, we gotta just take off that dust cover, no big deal. After this lunch, I'm getting hungry. Across the street's a chicken and waffles place I haven't tried, and I've been out here for 4 years. Always wanted to try it, so maybe we'll try that. All right, so I don't have a clip remover because I wasn't expecting that, but I do have a little flathead bit from my screwdriver kit, so that should work just fine there if you saw that. Looks like that one was already broken anyways. Maybe the other ones won't be so easy. Let's see. All right, so that's pretty much the only thing in the way of the battery, it looks like. Hopefully that comes off easy. What's holding that on there? Nothing. Just a clip. Okay, good enough. Two 10mm bolts on these, not even on tight, and we're done. So you can see how small this battery is, and it actually has that little plastic spacer underneath the clamp. I went ahead and got the biggest battery that'll fit in this vehicle, and we're gonna put that one in instead. All right, junk core battery. This one's not too bad. Put some of these on. Nice and tight. All right, that's not spinning by hand. Let's get these covers back on, and this will be good to go. Alright, I love it when a job's nice and easy like that. Everything went smoothly. I'm gonna head over to this waffle place and get some chicken and waffles for lunch. I'll let you know how it is. Alright, these chicken and waffles were pretty good. The waffle was real sugary, but the chicken was excellent. Overall, 4 out of 5. On to the next job. It's a Honda Civic and the hood won't open up. All right, so actually right after lunch, I had just an emergency little, I call them emergencies because they get priority in my head, but it was a pre-purchase inspection, and usually those need to be done pretty quickly as the people are there. So I headed across town real quick and did a pre-purchase inspection, and good thing I did the pre-purchase inspection because the block of the engine was cracked and leaking coolant. Check it out. So this next job is a 2007 Honda Civic, and the hood is stuck closed. They've taken it to like 2 or 3 different quick lube shops, and nobody's been able to get it opened. So I'm the guy that's gonna get it opened. I've got the camera in the shade there because you're looking right in the sun, but this car here, the hood won't open. I just got here, I'm waiting on the person for like 10 more minutes, so I figured I'd do an intro now. See if we can get the hood open. Hopefully nothing's broken. Hopefully I can just readjust something. We'll see. Something needs to be replaced. I'll figure it out. All right, so the good news is it looks like the latch is just too loose. Hopefully I can adjust it, but I'm going to use these because these are the only bent nose pliers I brought. I thought I was going to be dealing with the hood latch, but it looks like just a loose cable. Just to pull the hood latch real quick. Something else I had to do right after lunch was go and pick this up for my sister-in-law, so just another thing to add to the day. All right, here's the issue. What is that? Oh yeah, it's just not pulling it quite hard enough. So I should be able to grab that cable up under the dash and pull on the cable instead. All right, so here's what's going on. This cable here, if I pull it, it just pushes this knob out, if you can see that. So I'm thinking if I can keep this cable still and pull on this lever, that's the trick. I'm not sure. I broke the old brittle handle off just trying to pull on that, so I'm gonna have to replace that. I still can't get it by just pulling on the cable, even though I can grab more of it without that handle now. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the 10mm bolt. I can see off of that but hood latch, but there should be two. So there's a plastic little guard in the way. I'll see if I can show you better. Okay, so hood latch is up there. You can see it. And there's a 10mm bolt. There should be two. That's all I know. Maybe three. Alright, so I talked to the customer, and the plastic guard underneath that hood is probably the cheapest thing to replace, so that's the thing that we don't mind scratching up the most. I actually used a long pair of pliers here and my pair of leather gloves to protect the hood to pry down that plastic, and I found all three bolts and was able to take them out, but it took quite a bit of effort. Alright, that probably took 10 or 15 minutes to get the second one out, and this is like my only option. I see one more. Hopefully there's not two more. Okay, so that was just 3 bolts holding this in. And this got a little bit scratched up right there. Customer's okay with that. We were just trying to do this as cheap as possible. And if we want to replace this plastic piece, that was the cheapest thing to mess up. So let's grab that other bracket I'll show you. I'm not sure if this was just seized up or bent up, but it wouldn't even unhook even after I had that third bolt out. So I'm gonna replace this and that cable because it's broken, and that should fix this. I'm not sure what was broken after all because the cable ended up being attached, but these little white pieces were broken, so maybe it just was misaligned. I'm not sure. Let's pull on this and see if it was pulling on that cable anyways. And then I think I'm just gonna have to ratchet strap this hood down for old customer here until we get those parts in. Probably about a week. Yeah, see, that cable shortened up, so it should have worked. Not sure what was going on there. All right, there's the result for now. I've got that ratchet strap going through the hood latch and set up under here, locked into place. Tied out of the way, going to both tow hooks for redundancy. That's a diagnosis well done. See you next week. Alright, if you made it this far in the video, that day took probably about 4.5 hours of work total and 2 hours of driving around and a quarter tank of gas. This was another fantastic day. Everything went great. Thanks so much to everybody who supports these videos. Subscribe if you like the videos. It means a ton to me. Leave a comment down below, a thumbs up for the algorithm, and I'll see you on the next episode. That was a day well done.